Hey everyone, Levi here with Trout Fly Fishing, and today we're going to be tying a Hellgrammite larva. We're going to start this fly with an Ahrex NS110 streamer hook in the vise. For thread, we're using Danville Flymaster Plus. This is the color black, size 140. And for the body of this fly, we got Cohen's Creatures Hellgrammite. This is a medium size, 2 1/4 inch, and we're going to color that with a black Prismacolor marker. These are really nice. And a pretty essential tool for this fly is going to be this hairline dubbing spinner. I have the loop attachment in there, but it comes with a series of others, whatever suits your needs. We're going to use some lead wire in this fly as well. This is size 020. We're also going to use some hairline dumbbell eyes. These are painted black, and this is the size medium. Add some weight into the fly. We're also going to have some copper wire ribbing in here. This is ultra wire, color copper, size small. And for the body of this fly, we're going to use some ice dub, color UV black, and we're also going to use some touch dub from Hairline, little dubbing wax for our dubbing loop. And we're going to tie this fly together with some water-based head cement. This is made by Loon. It's good adhesive. So the first step to tying this Hellgrammite larva is to color the suede on the Cohen's Creature. This is the 2 1/4 inch size. So we're going to come in here with a Prismacolor. This is black. You could use a Sharpie. Any dark color marker probably works well that isn't washable or anything like that. So we're just going to stroke this with this chunky side on the Prismacolor. It takes the dye real quick and easy. So just get there, get the legs, and we'll have to flip it over, do the other side. Get the tail. Alright. Now you can flip this and get the other side. If you're going to tie a bunch of these, it's probably a good idea to just bang on all the coloring at once. Gives them a little bit of time to dry too. It's not a good idea to tie your fly and then try to color this after you tie it in. So again, just get everywhere on there. Make sure you hit all the legs. And sometimes the sides tend to miss a little bit of coloring, so just be sure to get those. And that's the finished product. Nice and easy. Let's get started right now with some thread on the vise. We're going to use an Ahrex NS110 hook. It's a size 4. Nice strong hook with a black nickel finish. So let's just get a thread base laid down. It doesn't have to be super clean. We're going to bring it right on up to the bend just a little bit. And we'll clip our excess. Get a few more wraps in there. And then we're going to move right on into some 020 lead wire. I'm going to put this on either side of the fly. And the reason for that is Hellgramites they're pretty chunky, gnarly little insects. And we want to capture that wide profile that they have. So get in there, one on either side. These things are gnarly little critters, but fish love them. Especially smallmouth bass, but big trout eat them just the same. So let's lay that down on one side, wrap our thread all the way back. You want to be sure to leave yourself just enough room for some lead eyes. You'll see I have just about the right spot for that. We'll even clip that part that I don't have tied down off. Alright, so now do that on the side nearest you. Advance your thread forward. And there you go. Get that tied down. Sort of like a stone fly. They do tend to have that wide profile, and it pays to match it if you can. So get rid of your lead wire. Advance your thread right behind the eye. We're going to tie in some black painted dumbbell eyes. Lead. These are size medium. Grab one out of there, and we're going to get those on top of the hook shank. I'm going to make this fly rod hook point up. And all the materials that we're working with today can be found at tridentflyfishing.com. Orders over 49 bucks do ship for free. So if you want to spend the winter tying, we got everything you need there and capitalize on the free shipping. Alright, so now that those are snug, position them how you want. And then we're going to glue them in, glue down this whole body before we move on into some copper wire. Just get that. From here, we're going to move into some copper wire. We're using ultra wire, size small, again, color copper. pull yourself off about 4 or 5 inches or so. And we'll get that tied in right here. Bring your thread all the way back here. We're going to use a dubbing loop, and you can, if you want to just dub it straight, that's totally fine, but for these big chunky flies, I'd rather just do a loop real quick and just hit it with one sweep instead of going back and forth. Again, tier's choice there, but this just tends to make my life a little easier. So we're going to come down here. This loop will probably be about 8 inches or so. Pull your loop down. Actually, let's wax this first. Get that out of the way. I'm using touch dub wax from Hairline. Just get one side of your thread like that. And then we'll fold this over and tie the thread like so. And then you could advance this thread forward right up to the eye. We're gonna grab our dubbing spinner, put it in the bottom, and move on into some Hairline ice dub. This is the color UV black. Any color will work. Something dark, maybe get into some really dark olives or really dark brown, but I tend to like this black color. It's got a little shine to it as well. So let's get that nicely spaced throughout our loop. Clean that up and evenly distribute it. And then we can spin this, create our nice rope. And you'll see how chunky this gets. It's nice and buggy too. Does a real good job at imitating that beefy Hellgrammite appearance. Once you're satisfied with your spin, be sure not to spin this too much, because then you end up snapping your thread. This isn't super thick thread, so let's just throw a half hitch in here and get our bobbin out of the way. We'll just go ahead and use the rotary function and wind this forward. Bring that right up to the eyes. Make sure your taper and profile are nice and clean. You don't want any real harsh steps or anything like that. We'll take this down on the bottom of our eyes, and we have some extra dubbing there, but that's fine. Overestimated my loop, but just tie that off. And then you can snip it. So give yourself a little spot to tie in. Alright, so from here, we're going to grab our cone creature, and we want to size this up. Just get your head, put it right where you're going to want it to land, and then that hook point is going to go right behind that first set of legs after the middle portion there. So just get that on there, make sure you center it. You got to pop the vise out, or the hook out of the vise. You can see that's nicely sized. You don't want your head hanging over too far. And there's also, as you can see, there's a little bit of stretch here. So you have some degree of, what's the word? Lenience. All right, so now that you have that threaded on there, we're gonna just get our copper wire. Get one wrap so that it's where we need it to be. And then we're just gonna wrap this wire. I try to get it in between each set of legs. It just keeps everything nicely put together, and we'll just tie it down right there. Oop. You can just pop that off. And from there, we're gonna pull our head forward and just tie it right down. And that'll cover the hook eye and also create the head of this Hellgrammite. So from there, hit it with a whip finish. And that is a Hellgrammite larva. So after we tie everything in, I just want to come in here with my dubbing needle and just pick this apart to get just a real buggy appearance to this, get a little extra movement. And if you guys like what you see today, be sure to hit the like button below. And if you really like what you see, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of these videos in the future.